It's a beautiful day in the mountains of southern Appalachia. The sun's out, it's warming up. It's just lovely. Matt and I are going to go on a little short hike, and then he's going to cook me something for dinner. Here's our tin pile we've been using to make the beds. I think Matt's found us a place to make a little camp. First thing Matt's trying to do is make a little tripod so he can have something to hold up the pot that we're going to cook in, or he's going to cook in. We're just going to have some noodles, pretty simple, but it'll be really nice just to be outside and have them. So that ain't real dry inside, is it?
much as I like it.
Didn't know you was gonna make side meat.
Side meat's fantastic stuff.
Starving me to death.
It's about done.
Looks pretty good. I've already tasted mine.
Sit down, Gary.
Yes, good. Matt cut up an apple to go with it. Got our piece of side meat.
You never had a Thanksgiving Day meal like that, have you?
Had a what?
Or, excuse me, a
Valentine's
Day meal like this.
Day? No, it's very nice. Normally we don't do much for Valentine's Day. We just never have. There's been the occasional card or flowers. Even one time Matt surprised me with flowers, but candy, meals, or where we went out to eat or something like that. But most of the time we don't even say happy. Now you got me to saying it, happy Thanksgiving. We don't say happy Thanksgiving. We don't say happy Valentine's Day either. So yeah, this is very nice.
Can't beat something cooked on the fire.
Anything outside just tastes so good. Matt said I was hurrying him, that we should have let the coals die down before we ever started cooking. I was starving to death, so I was hurrying him. But it reminds me of how some people that just cook on high. That's all they know how to do is cook wide open or broil or on high. That's what they say about Matt's grandmother. I only met her one time, but she wasn't, I don't even know if she was still cooked then, but I certainly didn't get to go to her house and eat anything. But
No, by then she didn't. I don't think she did anyway.
But those are the stories. They said she cooked everything on high or 500.
Wide open or off. And she cooked good stuff.
She was probably just in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of youngins, so that's probably it. And a great big garden to keep up.
Another tale about her is that she would forget that the canner was on.
Yeah.
And then she'd blow some of them up or something.
She did the pressure pots on the stove, and then just all of a sudden remember it and holler for the youngins to go run and go check it. And I think a couple of times it had cooked all the water out of it, and when you do that, all that steam or all what's left in there, it'll make the pot move and scoot and start rattling, and it had fell off in the floor a couple of times and blowed up. I think it blowed the lid off up on the ceiling a time or two.
Oh my goodness, that's scary.
I love them pressure pots, but you gotta stay with them.
Well, you always hear stories about people that are afraid of them blowing up, but I've really never known anybody that happened to, except the stories of Matt's grandmother. And that was because it was her fault. She forgot it.
Right.
So,
As long as you put enough water in them and you pay attention to it, however long you're going to cook whatever it is, and don't walk off from it and forget about it, it works fine and it's safe enough. And it does a fantastic job of what it does. I use one quite a bit. Most everybody else in the house uses the Instant Pot, but I don't like it because it's got buttons on it. I like the old stuff.
This is a weird combination, but it tastes really good together. But it's like Matt said, probably just because we're outside. I hadn't had ramen noodles in I don't know when. Long time.
They're just good to carry in the woods because they're easy to pack and they keep and they cook quick. They don't take up no room. You know, I've carried them in the woods just in a hunting pack. And if you get hungry, you can just stop and build a little fire and cook them just in no time.
Sometimes you see hacks of, I mean, not talking about camping, but inside of stuff to add to them. People add stuff to them.
I've cooked them before and added our canned deer meat to it. And then the juice that's in that jar will soak into those noodles, and then you got the little pieces of meat too, and it's mighty good.
A lot of people, before they cook them, they crunch them up in the bag. I used to work with a girl, and she would do that, crunch, 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 and that way you don't have to do what I'm doing, which is chase the noodles. But I didn't think about it.
I kind of like chasing them.
No, do you?
And I sure do like that side meat.
That's good.
Golly, I like that stuff.
We'll be very thirsty after eating it. It's so salty.
I'm already ahead. I knew we was going to eat it. I've already had about a half a gallon of water today. Hasn't been a nice day to be so cold this morning.
It's in the 20s this morning.
Yeah, it's in the upper 20s. And now I'm in a t-shirt. Not even a bit cool.
I meant to bring some of my pumpkin bread for our dessert, and I forgot it.
Well, I know where it's at.
I would have never thought about the side meat with the noodles. I'm glad you did.
That's more of that head movie stuff. I'm pretty sure I could eat side meat and vanilla ice cream together.
I don't know about that.
We don't eat it much because we don't have it much. But my goodness, I like that stuff.
Here's some birds. Today the sky is really blue, really beautiful.
Yep. Deep blue.
We had a lot of days of rain, but now the sun shines back. Had some heavy rain. Matt probably don't want me to talk about it. He don't like to talk about Lovey Dovey stuff. Are you cringing already? You ready to run?
All I gotta do is roll over and I'm off camera.
On Valentine's Day, like I said, we don't really do anything for it. Not that there's anything wrong with doing stuff for it. Me and Matt, neither one is just people that think about stuff like that. Like we hardly ever do anything for our anniversary. There's many years we didn't even remember it.
We didn't remember our anniversary, either one of us, for years.
Like school would start sometimes on that day, August 27th, and that would remind me, or I'd be somewhere in a store writing a check, and then I'd think, hey, today's my anniversary. Anyway, and Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, with celebrating them, you should really take pride in them. For some reason, me and Matt's just not that, I don't know, we just don't think about it like that. Anyway, but since we've been doing our videos, a lot of times people do comment about that we seem to get along really well. And we did a whole video about how we met and all that kind of stuff. I'll link to that if you missed it. Tells the epic story of me trying to sell Matt's truck without him knowing it. Anyway, but people remark on that often, that me and Matt seem to get along really well, and we do, and I'm very thankful for Matt. I'll start crying if I don't watch it, but he's a real blessing to me, and I'm very thankful that I have him, and thankful that I met him, and thankful that he didn't care that I tried to sell his truck when he made me mad, and for putting up with me and all those kind of things. But we do get along really well. For one thing is, I think we both, and we talked about it in that video, but we both, when we got married, we just thought this is one time. We just get married and we just stick it out no matter what. We genuinely loved each other, but we also genuinely just liked each other. We could talk about something for hours, and we still do. We can just talk about something, whatever it is. So I think all those things help, but having a good relationship, of course there's respect. I respect Matt, he respects me. I think we both, though, went into it knowing what we wanted out of life, like we had real clear set goals and thoughts, and maybe what Matt would be responsible for and what I would, not necessarily as far as like cleaning house and stuff like that. Matt doesn't care to help me do with that kind of stuff, but just kind of my areas and his areas, and that he excels and that I excel, and it just made sense. I think all those things help, but because we like each other and because we are really good friends as well as being in love, Matt will start running now if I start saying that. But I think all that goes together, and it makes us get along well. We have the same interest in those kind of things. You got anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just gonna fuss and fight and argue, what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to find somebody that you ain't gonna fight and fuss with. And we have arguments, of course, like everybody.
Of course, yes, of course.
You know, you got to be, you know, you got to be evenly yoked, as they say, I guess the Bible says that. You can't be, one of you can't be, you know, partying and running around and not coming home and not doing what they need to do at home. Because that don't work. I mean, it just causes strife, and it may be, you know, it may not come to the surface for a long time, but it's there, and then when it does come to the surface, then there's a fight and a fuss, and then that just ain't no way to live.
No.
And we ain't gonna live that way.
No.
I've always said that.
Right, but
I am not gonna live that way, fighting and fussing, because it's just.
It would be a misery.
Absolutely.
But I think it helps, though, to go into it, both of you agreeing that you're going to work things out, and you're not going to. Years and years ago, I mean many years ago, I was still like in the young adult Sunday school class. That's how long ago it's been. But there was a lady in there, and there was another couple that was having hard times. Like Matt said, it's not that we don't ever fight or that we've never got mad at each other or even stayed mad at each other for a while. It's just, that's just part of it. You just got to know you're in it for the long haul. But anyway, and the lady was talking about, you know, her troubles, and this other lady that was older than us was in there, and she'd been married a lot longer, and she told her, said, I'm giving you, I mean, she didn't even realize she's giving her advice, but she did, and I'm sure she gave everybody in there like me who was newly married advice too. But she said, when you're married, it's not always like the honeymoon. There's times that you don't get along and that you fuss, and she said, and there might be a whole year where you're just like, I don't know, is this worth it? Is this working? But she said, I'm telling you, hang in there, because yes, it's worth it, yes. And she said, and then it just comes back around where you're, you know, where it's all good again. But anyway, I remembered that it's not all roses. And I was trying to think of something that Matt really likes, not all cinnamon orange bread.
Yep.
Sometimes there's no cinnamon orange bread.
Yep.
So anyway, but it's worth it for the long haul if you. And I think marriage is, or it just is. That's just one of the greatest things marriage is. I believe it is. And I think as a society, maybe we got away from that. We're thinking it was really important. Like I feel empowered because I am a wife and because I am a mother, all those things. I don't feel less, I feel more because of that.
Yeah.
But it's just, and then at the end of the long day, tiring day, especially at the end of a day that's been bad, it's just a terrible day, that's when it's so nice to have somebody like Matt. I'm sure he feels the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Nice at the end of a long day to know that I'd be there with supper or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I know that things don't always work out for people, and that a lot of times it's not even your fault. It's just life's not fair. But that's something I think, especially for the younger generations, I would hope that they would strive for. I hope, the kids in my family, that's what they strive for, because it's just such a more rewarding life. And of course, wrapped around all this that we say is God, because we're believers, so we believe, of course, putting Him first and letting Him handle it, and like Matt said, believing the biblical, as far as that goes, instruction on it. But anyway, I guess that's my 2 cents Valentine's Day speech.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
You did good.
I embarrassed Matt probably in the process.
Nah, not too bad.
He's got more sentimental in his old age.
Yeah. Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. And also being in a house full of women probably has helped that.
I've become a whole lot more tolerable, I guess, or don't let stuff make me squirm as much as it once did.
Yeah, 20 years ago you'd have got up and left. Said,
20
I ain't
years ago-
talking about that stuff.
20 years ago, I wouldn't even come up here.
Well, probably, yeah. You probably wouldn't even be on camera. But
No, I don't care now.
you've had to immerse yourself in the female ways,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
which includes a lot of talk about emotions and all that.
It would be, you'd be surprised how much I know about the female. As being a man, what I know about it is pretty extensive.
Yeah. But look, you already got a reprieve with Austin. He's already now Matt and Austin can together roll their eyes at me and Corey and Katie. But now you're about to get 2 grandsons. Ain't that amazing?
The worm is about to turn.
Yeah. Anyway, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of nobody else I'd rather be grandma with than, or I guess you'd be my papa to my grandma,
Right.
ever how you say it anyway, that I'd
Right.
like to be a grandparent with than Matt.
Right.
We're really, really excited.
It won't be long now.
It won't be long now. About the time we get kind of situated and everything okay with Katie in a little bit, then there'll be another one. So then we'll be excited all over again.
Yep. I'm about stressed out.
And Matt's worrying about them. I think they're going to be fine though. They're both healthy and strong and created to do what they're doing. So
That's true.
I think it'll be fine.
Yep. It's got to be.
You know, we could lay down in the sunshine and take a nap right over there. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. I have done that in the woods. It's mighty good sleep. I ain't done it a long time though.
The fresh air and hear the creek rolling and
But be up off the ground. I kind of like hammocks nowadays. Just on the ground stuff, hard.
yeah.
That's why I'm leaning back, because I'm hurting all over from sitting here.
Are you?
Yeah,
Maybe you need to sit crisscross applesauce.
I can't.
Your legs don't work like that.
No.
Your legs.
My legs, no, they don't.
One time when Corey was real little, I don't know how little, maybe she was 5, something like that, but she'd went in the bathroom and got her a drink of water, and I just happened to come in there right when she was drinking the water, and she said, Mama? I said, yeah, and she said, what happens when your legs fill up? She wanted to know where the water went once your legs filled up. Oh, gosh. It's funny.
Yep.
Well, we hope you enjoyed coming along with us on our little Valentine's Day outing, and we're always glad when you stop by to help us celebrate Appalachia.